One of the key things that they actually did do was they went around and reassured a lot of people, saying things like, oh, don't worry, your job's secure. Oh, don't worry, we'll give you benefits. Oh, don't worry, we'll give you a bonus if you just do this. You just have to do what we say. Now, going again to something that was stated before about the gun being confiscated, Oklahoma has never been a state that's had armor until recently, and it's not quite something that they're bringing out to the mainstream. What is happening that I'm aware of, because it's in my department, is recently we were given APCs and we were given strikers, usually in the form of things that can be modified, up-armored, whatever, bigger guns, things like that. But the thing is, it's not focused on, like, tanks. It's not focused on things to declare war. It's always on stuff where you can move troops in and out of an area where they're completely protected by a hunk of steel.
So it's to fight asymmetrical groups of guerrilla warriors. It's for fighting asymmetrical insurrections. And look, the local police are all militarizing for that duty. I mean, there's a full escalation for over a decade for all-out war with the American people. And I just hope that this doesn't happen. But if it does, the public's not going to go out and fight the vehicles when they're driving down the road. They're going to attack the troops when they're in bars. I mean, I hope people understand if it goes to a guerrilla war in this country, I don't know how to explain it. Well, I'm sure you know. Go ahead.
Well, no, that's what I was trying to point out, is that one of the things that went down the pipe is they were making comments along the lines when we had a hearing that said, okay, well, we have to worry about civil insurrection, we have to worry about this, and that, and guerrilla warfare was brought up almost every conversation. And so
let me stop you. You're in charge, as I've had family in charge till he was sent back overseas. He's regular Army, merging with the National Guard, beefing it up, and the whole clandestine mission, and I was even told this, and I've been told it by 100 other sources, literally or more, is for riot control and even combat at arms. And even in the John Warner Defense Authorization Act, 2007 for 08, it says to even suppress states and legislatures and rogue governors. So they create the 10-member governor council to say, oh, we're for the states, we have a 10-member council. This is breaking news here, though, from you. We have Brigade Homeland articles. I mean, we know that they're training for this, but you're saying you're being told, here's the armored vehicles, here's the strikers, here's these combat vehicles for guerrilla war. So, I mean, there it is. Why is the government gearing up for guerrilla war in Oklahoma and Texas and everywhere else? Why are they acclimating the public for troops on the streets? Because foreign usurpers have hijacked the presidency and are telling Congress, sit down and shut up, and we have a foreign coup, and they plan on using you against us when they fully implode the country and arrest people like me. I'm sorry, go ahead and finish your point. I'm going to shut up, Major.
Well, I appreciate that. And no, that's okay. I'm actually 100% on your page. In fact, I had recently been through an ordeal. I say recently, it was in 2009, where I refused to obey an order, which I'm not going to go into over the air, but I was incarcerated for 90 days because I refused to obey this order. However, upon release, I was asked why was I incarcerated. They never gave me a reason. And then I was reassigned as a liaison, I guess, where they don't think I can do a whole lot of damage or whatever. But one of the biggest weapons that I have is the fact that I do have an oak leaf cluster, and I have a voice, and I can be heard. Just like you, sir. You can do this, and so can I. And anybody else who doesn't think, oh, well, I have no voice, or says, oh, I can't say this or that, or I can't do this, they're full of it. Anybody and everybody has the power to stand up and say whatever they need to say, or whatever needs to be said.
Well, again, if we can't stand up now when the president says, I take my orders from the UN, then when will we stand up? I mean, this is open coup d'etat, but just to be specific. So they're in these meetings where these armored vehicles are being shipped in and heavier weapons, they're admitting it's for guerrilla warfare in America.
Oh, no. They're not being shipped in. They've already been shipped in. They've been shipped into locations all around the country. Look at YouTube. There's several videos where it shows vehicles being brought in on trains. And
yeah, hundreds of tanks, and I know they're being deployed in stockpiles. I know the caches are there and they're training, but I mean specifically, they just admit this is to fight the guerrillas.
Oh, no, not just that. It's for anything. Texas said, I think it was Rick Perry who basically made a comment, I can't remember exactly when, but it was talking about Texas secession. When that happened, our command was like, holy crap, maybe go time. There was another state that said something about secession not too long ago, and then everything started coming down the chain.
You just heard it. They're telling you, get ready to suppress governors that realize we don't have a real federal government and reform the republic from the states up.
Well, they're trying to do something they're not supposed to, that's for darn sure.
Well, no, the John Warner Defense Authorization Act talks about insurrection even by legislatures. Well, wait, you got a foreign UN-run federal government telling us we're the traitors?
Well, if you have to put it that way, yeah, I guess that would be the case. But I guess I was labeled as a traitor a long time ago because I have a brain and a voice, and I like to speak.
Any other tidbits about people being awake around you, or specifically, I mean, just ballpark, how many armored vehicles are in Oklahoma for the American people in the legislature?
Okay, well, I don't know all the numbers. I do know for my area, there was recently brought in 6. In fact, I have pictures on my cell phone from which they were being brought in. There were 6 strikers and about 9 Bradleys.
Which they used at Waco.
Yeah. But other than that, that's just my area. There's others that have been brought in and that I don't know about, supposedly, that are in Fort Sill right now, and then there's others that were taken to Oklahoma City. But,
and they admit to you that this could be for... Wow, I mean, you're saying when states talk about secession, the chain of command says, get ready to go into the states. Well, remember the feds said they do a blockade over Texas. Stay there, we got to come back to you and then others.